Hi everyone, welcome to Big Tarot Guidance. Welcome if you're new and welcome if you're returning. Please consider subscribing down below to this channel if you haven't already. And if you're here interested in booking a personal tarot reading from me, I want to let you know I have all the information about that in the description box below this video, so make sure to check that out. I have my website listed there and also my email, so you can just go ahead and send me that email if you're interested. Other than that, today we're going to be looking at why do people stare at you. So why do people continuously pay attention? What makes them feel so drawn to you that they feel like they have to stare intently? What are their maybe first, second or third impressions of you? So why are they looking at you so intently? What's going on there? What are they thinking, feeling? If at all, maybe they're just staring into the blank space. We'll find out in this reading today. I would like to point out this is going to be quite a general reading, quite a broad reading. So we're going to be covering in general, why do people stare at you? This is not so intended to be like a love tarot reading. I do intend to do that one separately, and that one's going to be more about why do they as your person stare at you, or why do they give you that strong eye contact. This one is more intended for, people just staring at you. Maybe it's co-workers, colleagues, friends, family. It can also be a significant other or a love interest, but I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. You can pick different groups for different people if you're interested in getting, a little bit more specific messages, but do keep in mind still this is intended to be a more general reading, intended for a broader audience and not so much intended to be a specifically love tarot reading. With that being said, let's get into this introduction of the three groups. So for group number one, we have the Hematite crystal, and we're going to be using the Fountain Tarot with this one. So the Fountain Tarot for group number one. Then group number two is going to be the fashionable Amethyst crystal. And group number two is also going to be the Forest of Enchantment tarot deck. And then for group number three, we are going to be using the beautiful Rose Quartz crystal and also the tarot deck Animal Totem Tarot for group number three. All right, so those are the three groups. You can go ahead already and scroll down below to get to your timestamps, which will take you to each specific group here. If you feel like you need a little bit more time choosing, picking, deciding which one group goes in what way, goes with what type of person, if you're interested in a specific situation, you can also pause the video at this very point and take your sweet time deciding. If you already know, if you already feel like you're being drawn to one specific group, I'll see all of you in your chosen groups. Hello, group number one. Welcome to your tarot reading. So if you pick the Hematite over here or the Fountain Tarot, or if something else entirely has led you to today's video, welcome. We are going to be looking at why do people stare at you. So why do people continuously pay attention to you so intently? What draws them to you? What are their first, second, third impressions of you that make them stare at you? So in general, why are they looking at you here? What's going on there? So Spirit, please, for group number one, why do people stare? Okay, we already have a card here. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay, so it feels like you are very quiet. You don't speak a lot. It feels like you're very introverted. With this card, I'm getting the sense that you tend to maybe feel like a wallflower or feel like you are in the shadows a lot. It feels like, you're a very introverted person, especially maybe at parties. You are not someone who likes to hang or be in the center of attention. And that gives you like the quality of being very mysterious, and people feel like they're very drawn to that. People often have no idea what you're thinking or what exactly your thoughts are on specific issues. You do maybe tend to be very silent and also very poker faced about, you know, whatever it is that people are maybe talking about at the table. It might be even that you're not that interested in those things, but people around you have no idea what you're really interested in. It feels like people around you have this interest in getting to know you. I'm getting like the vibe of all of these swords sort of being questions about you, questions directed at you that people do not feel like they can voice or feel like it's their place to voice, you know. It feels like it's the attitude or the energy of someone who is very silent, but people also don't want to approach them, don't want to ask them too deep or too specific or too provocative questions, let's say like that. But people are in general very, very interested in you when they do stare at you in such a manner. They're thinking about what you're thinking. They're thinking about asking you questions, thinking about what you're thinking, you know. They want to know what's going on in your head, but they also don't want to be assuming, you know. They don't want to intrude, they don't want to be rude, so they don't want to say anything very often. But still, it does feel like, you know, people really, really have this urge to want to know what's really going on over there in that nugget of yours, but they can't really get to it. They feel like they're standing in their own way by being polite or, you know, abiding by some type of social mannerism, social graces, and similar ways. But yeah, people are very interested in you. For some of you, people also tend to find you almost a little sad, you know. There is something about you that's got an air of melancholy sometimes about it. And people are not necessarily, they don't feel bad for you. There is nothing bad in this feeling per se, but it's that sense of not knowing what's going on again. There, it's a type of melancholy that's not something you can put your finger on. It's just something that's felt in the air around you. It's sort of a mystical artist type of vibe, very creative vibe, you know. I'm getting reminded of like Russian literature or something like that, you know, that sort of dreary melancholy, but also so beautiful, heartfelt vibe, you know, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, that type of energy, but also other Russian poets, Russian writers, you know, are coming to mind here. That sort of very heartfelt, almost like very strong, strongly felt realistic perception of life, death, being is what's coming through here. And people are curious about that, but also it does feel like, you know, it's not only the social manners that are holding your person back or your people back, it's also them not wanting to maybe know what's really going on there, because they are on some level, it feels like, afraid of what you would share with them, because you do feel like you're very, very deep a person, you're very deep, and they're afraid what you're going to share with them. Okay, so this has been like a treatise into this one card, into your personality, of what people think. Let's see what else comes up. I hope I'm not writing a doctorate here for you guys today. So let's see, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups reversed. So yeah, this is giving me like cheerful vibes, but not overblown cheerful vibes. This energy, it feels like a side grin, it feels like a chuckle, it feels like a very interested, introverted person that sort of has this side smirk, grin, or something like that going on for them. I feel like you're an enigma for people, definitely, with both of these cards coming through. It's like you're very much like a strong enigma. You're just sitting there often for people, very introverted energy feels like. So if this does not resonate for you, maybe you have messages in other groups, other piles. But yeah, this person does feel like they're introverted, or at least they don't like to speak much in big groups or in bigger groups. They don't like to be the one speaking up, being so much the center of attention here, but you do tend to give off some type of body language, some type of indications that you're enjoying things, sometimes like a little smirk, like a little grin, side smile, something like that, that makes you just very enticing to people. It feels like here, you know, people are very curious about you, like, why did you find that amusing? Why did you find that funny? Why did you find that ironic, or like maybe a little bit satirical or something like that? It's something about you that's sort of very intellectual, very smart, well read, it feels like, but you don't let that on much. You don't speak so much about that, but it's your air. It's the quality with which you respond to the world, with what is going on the outside, that makes people curious about what's really going on inside. Okay, so let's see what else. This is turning out to be such an interesting reading here. We have the Ten of Cups. Interesting. People feel like you have a very big inner world here. Yeah, why do they stare at it? Does feel like people stare at you because also they feel you to be very full. You know, when I talked about the depth before, it feels like you are very full of a variety of different emotions, emotional stages, not really emotional stages, but so much as different moods, different dimensions of emotions. You have a certain quality of being able to feel very deeply into things, but also to have a wide range of different emotions that you can tap into, different things that you can feel here, which makes you different from many people. People around you, they feel like they're more sort of shallow, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in the way that they are not able to access things as deeply as you can. They're not able to maybe feel things as intensely and in such a great variety as you can here, which makes you different, which makes you stand out. And people on a subconscious level, they can definitely feel into that. They can feel like you have this incredible sense or incredible openness to feeling like the whole palette of emotions here. That means, you know, all from joy to the biggest pain, grief, and so on. And yeah, like people find that very fascinating, how that is playing on and playing off in you. They are interested in those types of feelings, like subconsciously they're very interested in that, even though like consciously I feel like their ego would stop them from going into these types of spheres. But still, it does feel like people are interested in that because deep down they do want to expand, they do want to grow, but their ego and their sense of comfort is often standing in the way. So you are like an interesting, let's say, subject to study on this matter for their subconscious. Yeah. Okay, what else, Spirit? For group number 1, please. Why do people stare at them? Why do people stare at them? For group number 1, please. Why do people stare at group number 1 here? So we have the Moon and we have the Six of Wands reversed. Feels like, yeah, with the Moon, it's a confirmation of that energy that I was tapping into. You feel very mystical, you feel very mysterious. You are someone they can't really pin down. You feel like, oh my God, I'm just hearing Dracula's voice, you know, creature of the night. Things like that from that black and white movie. Oh wow, I'm just now like hearing the line from the wolves, you know, when the wolves are howling and Dracula's all like, oh, children of the night, what music they make. I don't know, I'm so bad at mimicking his voice, but it's that type of vibe that you give. You give off a very gothic, mystical, also a little bit witchy vibe, but mostly it's very, you know, it's hard to pin down. It's just got this feeling of you being something from another time. You know, like you're not really fitting into this current dimension, current life, current modern urban life. You know, you're not from here. It's that type of vibe. You belong to a whole different century, to a whole different culture. And it's the culture of Gothic architecture and things like that. That's really stepping up for me. Also black, like the color black. Maybe you wear a lot of black, but that's definitely stepping out here. I'm strongly getting INTJ energy from this group, or INFJ, INFP. What else do we have? What else? ISTJ maybe a little bit as well, but mostly it's like that strong vibe of those energies. INTP also is something that would vibe with this group strongly, I'm getting. But yeah, those types of people, those types of personality types definitely are strongly represented here, I feel like. With the moon, also the Pisces energy is very strong. So you do tend to have, like I said, the melancholy, but also calmness about you. People also often like to look at you to get calm or to generate calmness in their lives, it feels like. You have a very soft presence, a very soft, also like unassuming presence. With the Six of Wands here, you feel like you're someone who does not want to stand out, but still you do stand out strongly in your softness and in your sensitivity to people. And people often do look at you or stare at you just to feel into that, just to feel into that softness, sensitivity, just to, you know, allow themselves to vibe some subconsciously with some of these energies, because deep down they do urge for that. They want that in their lives here. But yeah, you're very sweet, you're very sort of, you're very calm, you're very gentle, you're very soft, but at the same time you're very strong, you're very resilient down there. You're like, you are such an interesting concoction of energies within yourself, which is also because of this depth that you hold within, that people are so drawn to you, that people are so often looking at you. And often it does feel like they don't even know why they're doing this. They don't know why they're drawn to you. This is like the subconscious energy that I'm picking up here. You know, it's that sort of contemplative energy, something pulling you towards someone else, but you have no idea why. You have no idea why you're so enchanted by this energy. I feel people also consider you to be a healer of some kind. We have the Three of Swords here as the bottom of the deck energy. So people often do also stare at you in order to bring some type of calm in their lives, to bring some type of healing into their lives. You do give off a very healing energy, a very soft, secure type of energy, a very heartfelt energy, you know. And that in itself is very, very healing for people to be in presence of, and to just be in presence of, and to feel into, even though they might not completely realize what they are feeling into. All right, so let's see what else shows up for us now. For group number 1, why do people stare at them? Okay, so we have intuition, we have the universe. Okay, yeah. Just a big confirmation. Intuition here is in the reverse, because it does feel like this person, these people that do stare at you, they have no idea what's really going on here. But what's really going on, it's basically like the universe is behind all of this. The universe is wanting them to get expansion, to evolve, to try something new, to feel into new things. And you are sort of like a catalyst for that in people. It feels like you open things up in people just by being present, because you yourself are so deep, so open. It feels like you act as this catalyst, as this starter of something in people, so that they can begin to feel more, so that they can begin to expand, so that they can flow more easily in themselves, so they can step out of their comfort zone a little bit. And people are very, very attracted to you because of this. I do want to repeat that this is all very much on the subconscious level for your people, for the people in your life, for people staring at you with this intuition reversed. They feel like there is something there, but they are like, what even is there? Why do I feel so drawn to this person? But you're like this expansion, like the universe is basically using you as a tool to expand other people in your life. Here is what's coming through here. So very gorgeous, very beautiful energy here. You are really opening people up, even if you don't realize it, just by being there with your energy. Yeah, we also have the Four of I feel like swords. Is it swords? Is the green swords? I hope it is. Or the I'm sorry, I'm just going to check. Yeah, the Four of Cups here is what's coming through, discontent and boredom. This one to me feels more like that melancholy feeling that I was describing to you. So people are interested in your depthness, in your sadness here often as well. People are sometimes, some of them are of course also looking at you to see what's really going on. Are you bored with them? Is something wrong with you? You know, they tend to like to sneak peeks at you or sneak stares at you just to feel into you if you're sad maybe here. So people do tend to stare at you sometimes because they are worried if you are maybe feeling sad as well. So let's see what else. Spirit for group number one. For group number one. We have the Eight of Pentacles, so positive movement forward. They're interested to know what you're going to do next, often because you're such an enigma for people. They like to stare at you just to try to figure you out, but they do tend to fail in that endeavor in your life. So, you know, they're like still continue to stare, continue to figure out this person, getting nowhere really. Learning about myself here more than about this person, continue staring, continue trying to figure them out. And we have patience here. So yeah, people are very drawn to this energy of patience within you. This feels like temperance. I'm not sure if it is, but it feels like you have a strong balancing nature within you. You are a great healer. As I said before, you do tend to entice that in people here, and you tend to make people feel very patient and feel very good about themselves, about life in general. So this is also why they're so drawn to you often, why they stare at you, because they feel good feeling into you. Okay, let's see what else shows up for us for group number one here, please. Why do people stare at them? Why do people stare at group number one, please, Spirit? Why do people stare at group number one here? Why do people stare at them? Why do people stare at them? Okay, so we have Horse, care for others and let them be free. There is something about you that's sort of very solitary, but also very caring. So within it does feel like you have a great care. People do tend to stare at you because you are majestic in some manner. You are alone or solitary, a very lone wolf type of person in some manner. And people are fascinated by that. People are interested in that. Like, why are you alone? What's going on? Are you happy on your own? What are you thinking? What's going on there? So they're curious, first and foremost, but they also find you majestic. There's something about you, maybe about how you dress or about your appearance in general, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit, I don't know really how to put it. Like, it's extra in some manner. It's different. There's something amazing about it, and people find that very, very curious, and that's why they stare. They want to just see you, see what's going on there, you know, what are you going to do next, where are you going dressed that way, why are you dressed that way, and so on. So yeah, in general, people are just curious and find you alluring and attractive and magnificent in some manner. But also, like, it feels like you are a force to be reckoned with. You know, it does feel like you are big, you are majestic, like the horse, you know. A horse is really just a majestic, strong, wild creature. So it does feel like you also carry that energy within yourself, which makes people drawn to you and interested. Let's see what else for group number one. Whoops. Okay, so for group number one, we have the rat here. Be true to yourself and the universe will reward you. So with the rat here, I'm getting the energy that you are very authentic. You live from your heart, but you know, you also really follow yourself, it feels here. Like you're not going to settle for something less than who you are. It feels like people are drawn to that. They pay attention to you because you are authentic, because you are true to yourself, because you express your true nature, true being here. We have dove here. Spread messages of peace and joy. And yeah, you also feel very gentle, as I said before. Like you are this concoction of gentleness and like gothic nature here. It feels like melancholy gothic nature, but that's all, you know, true to you. It's who you authentically are. You are this beautiful concoction of healing, of serenity, of balance, of joy, but also someone who is very deep dark, someone who does feel strongly into the light and the darkness here. And that's especially what makes people very interested with this universe card showing up. You know, you do tend to bring out different things in people. You act like a mirror to people here, it feels like, and they're very drawn to that because they learn about themselves through you, it feels like. So we have the kangaroo here. Be a force for good. Feels like you're very protective of yourself. You're very secretive. Like it does feel like you have a wall up around you, and this makes people interested in you. We have like 3 cards wanting to show up. We have the ladybird. Accept happiness and good fortune. People also find you to be very fortunate in some manner. Like you have good things happening to you. You tend to draw towards you good things. When you talk to people, you have a gentleness of speaking to them. Sort of a softness, a gentleness, a very soft, slow, gentle voice in speaking to them. It feels like, which makes people very, you know, interested in you. And we have the kingfisher here. Be patient and focused. You're also very focused, be it in your work, be it in your thoughts, be it in your emotions, like very intense and very focused in all of those areas, in all of those directions. You're also very connected to source, to spirit. And yeah, people like to, again, feel into that energy of yours. That energy of focus, of being so dedicated to something. And we have the monkey here. Experience all that life has to offer. This card is making me feel into the authenticity of just being who you are and allowing yourself to be that. Basically opens the doors to experiencing everything that life has to give to you. So the good and the bad, the good fortune and the bad fortune. But often people get to see only the good fortune here. So they do tend to ask themselves, you know, how do you have it so well, or how is everything working out so beautifully for you here? But they don't tend to see, you know, the bad, the pressure, the hard work, or everything behind or below the surface that you have had to go through here. They do tend to feel into that a little bit, like intuitively at some point, or some people do at least. But often, you know, people don't give that so much thought. They only see what's on the outside, what's the outside appearance here, but only those more conscious do tend to also look within and inside of you, can feel inside of you more, and they can feel that you did have to go through a lot also internally in order to be where you are currently. All right, so that's all I have for you today, my beautiful group number 1. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure to also have the little notification bell turned on so that you can be notified when I post next. If you're interested in booking a personal tarot reading with me, all the information about that is also in the description box below this video. Make sure to check it out if you're interested. Other than that, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Hope to connect with you soon. Bye. Mwah. Hiya, group number 2. Welcome, welcome. So if you picked the Amethyst crystal, and if you picked the Forest of Enchantment here, this is going to be your tarot reading for why do people stare at you. So we're going to be looking at why they pay attention to you, why they are drawn to you, what are the first, second, third impressions, and all the general information about that is going to make us feel into the energy. Why are they looking at you? Okay, so let's get into it. Spirit, please, for group number 2, why do people stare at them here? Why do people stare at them? We have the Weaver of Visions. This is the Queen of Cups. Okay, you have in general a very soft energy, very mystical energy, a very feminine energy about you. The Queen of Cups is someone who is very emotional. It's very emotional, intelligent. But what makes people stare at you is, I'm getting like a strong sense of beauty. There is something incredibly beautiful about you, but this beauty is not something that you would see every day. It's something like, I don't know, having very expressive eyes, for example. It's maybe something in your eyes that's so very deep that it makes people drawn to you in such a manner that it makes people pay attention to you. I feel like it's definitely something special about your appearance. Maybe the blueness, grayness, or greenness of your eyes. Maybe a mix of all three is something that's really stepping out. Or if you have brown eyes or more black, darker eyes, it's about the depth, the richness, the warmth of that, you know. Sort of, it's about some type of mystery here. But you're also very soft. You're also very, very intelligent. It does feel like you're extrasensory in some manner here, or clairvoyant. There is something very psychic about your energy. You might have some mystical psychic gifts yourself here, because it does feel, or that's at least what people think about you when they see you. They're very interested in you. They think you're some kind of shaman, some kind of special healer. Those who are into more new age things, or star seeds, they do tend to consider you a light worker here. Because of your appearance, especially, people do tend to stare at you because they think you're something special. They think you're something very, very different here. And they're drawn to you. They're drawn to your beauty, but especially they're drawn to how different it feels. Like maybe you're not even that special in terms of looks or in terms of appearance, but people do tend to see something very special in you, something different, some type of a different spark in the way that you look at them, in the way that your energy feels to people around you. It's something different. I can't really even put my finger on it. It's got a mystical vibe. It's got an emotional vibe. It's got a healing vibe. It's got an unassuming vibe. It's got this feeling of unattachment to it. But something that's just very serene, very gentle. Feels like people are strongly drawn to that. They're also very drawn to, and they stare at you because of the way you move. There is also something very special about the way that you gesture, the way that you move. You have a dreaminess about you as well. So people are incredibly drawn to you, maybe sometimes sort of just shutting off in some manner, or just daydreaming, looking out of the window, not feeling at all like you're present wherever you are. You tend to be very secretive or mysterious in your privacy. There's something very intimate about the way that you feel when you are daydreaming, it feels like here. So yeah, that makes people pay attention to you. They're curious about that. that makes people look at you, you know. They don't know what's really going on there, so they are fascinated by that, and they don't know really what to think. But also this feel like this makes people question things about themselves, ask things about themselves. But also, you know, it just feels like it's such a unique type of energy that they are tapping into with you, and this is what makes you alluring. It's what makes you attractive. It's what makes you know you the magnet basically that draws them to you. So let's see what else. Spirit, for group number 2 here. Yeah, we have the moonlight. You are indeed very mysterious. People don't know where to put you. We also had the moonlight in group number 1 showing up. And yeah, there is that similarity with this group, definitely. You know, there's a mysticism here. There is like that feeling of you, you know, it's like a witchy feeling where you would go off into the woods and meet with your witch friends, or be there on your own and just have, you know, different spell works going on, or look into the fire, dance around the fire. You have that, you know, wild witch, wild woman type of energy within yourself, even though, you know, you have that gentle healer energy also, but you have some type of wildness, some type of innate wild female nature within you. You know, you can be any type of gender, you still do express a strong femininity within yourself, because these cards are coming up here, and it's such a strong energy. It's like sufism, sophisticated energy. Like, I'm thinking of Rumi here, you know, that mysticism, that loving expression. Maybe it's also the way you speak. You do tend to speak melodically very much. You do have a very melodic voice. It's very soft, but it does, you know, people want to listen to it. People want to listen to it because it is in itself very healing to them on a very subconscious level here, I'm getting. And yeah, people are very curious about you. What's going on inside of your head? What has made you the way that you are here? Why are you the way that you are here? You know, that's the type of thoughts going on in their head. I feel like people are definitely very annoyed with the 5 of challenges here, that they can't really figure you out. So there is something conflicting inside of people who often stare at you. They can't figure you out entirely. You know, you feel like you're this almost like mystical fairy type of person, and how do you live, what do you do, you know, people can't figure you out. You're just like very interesting. Wow, cards are like flowing everywhere. So we have the Seeker of Visions showing up for us here. The Seeker of Visions is the Knight of Cups here, so strong cup energies. We also have the Forge, which is Temperance, another strong card that has also come up in group number 1. But yeah, with the Seeker of Visions here, with the Forge, I'm also getting, okay, the Sunlight also here wants to come up. Let me just show you. So the Sunlight, yeah, again, just this gentle softness. You can be an artist of some kind, or if you do play music, people are enchanted by that. I feel like people are in general so enchanted by you, by your mannerisms, by the way your voice sounds. There is something so graceful about it. It draws people in, especially. And you are very balanced. It feels like I know you're an expression of some type of ballerina dancer. It feels like here. There is this great harmony within you, and you have great posture. Spirit wants to say, I don't know why, maybe that's only directed for a specific few of you, but there is something about it that's just this great posture, that oozes elegance, that oozes grace, that oozes gracefulness. There is something very grand about you that people feel into here, but also great sense of harmony within, with this Forge, but also a sense of you working hard for that. I do want to put out a disclaimer. This is very much something that's happening on a subconscious level for people. It feels like, you know, most people are not conscious about what's going on here inside of their psyche when they're staring at you, or, you know, just intently vibing into your energy. But they definitely are drawn to this gentleness, are drawn to this softness. It feels like people are lacking this in the modern world. And so you being this expression of this energy, it draws them in, it connects them to something that is lacking in their own lives here, which is the harmony, which is the softness, which is the self-love, which is this strength in listening to oneself, being true to oneself here, and also being true to gentleness, being true to the loving expression of your innate divine feminine essence, which is allowing, which is nurturance, which is love, which is acceptance of others, which is emotional intelligence here. You have a very graceful, beautiful energy about you that's almost like the energy of a child. You might be younger here as well. Some of you are younger indeed, but if you're not young in terms of age, you're young in terms of soul with this sunlight card. Again, we have musical instrument here, so you might be an artist or a singer, a dancer, a musician of some kind, or, you know, you dabble in those arts. But yeah, you know, people are drawn to your just childlike gentleness, childlike energy, childlike innocence, even for some of you. Like you, for example, might think that you might be naive in some manner, but people are finding that so very refreshing. Like, I cannot even tell you how strong I'm feeling this energy of people just being so drawn to you because you represent what they have dismissed, denied, and disowned within themselves. You know, they have pushed away this gentleness, this childlike innocence within themselves, this feeling that we often call naivety when we grow up and tend to be all strong and harsh on ourselves. But this is, you know, something people really, really lack, and it's something that you express, and it's just such a freshness about this energy being present in this harsh reality that we live in. So people are naturally very drawn to that. They're naturally sort of vibing strongly with that because that's something within themselves that they have denied, repressed, or disowned, and they want to get closer to that. All right. So let's see what else. Such beautiful energies. By the way, group number 2 here, like, you are so beautiful. You are so gentle and so beautiful. Don't ever change, you know, don't let the world make you harsh or hard here. Because the world needs people like you, even though you might sometimes feel like you're very soft, you're very sensitive, and you cannot handle the world. Like, the world desperately needs people like you, because it's people like you who are going to change this system. You know, it's people like you who are showing us what we have done wrong. And it's people like you who are, you know, the messengers of what needs to change so that we can incorporate these types of people in society, and by that profoundly change our society as well. Just like a little side note to you, group number 2, because you're indeed very beautiful, and I do want you to know that, like, deeply from my heart. I want you to know how beautiful you are and the goodness that you are bringing to this world. So yeah, thank you, group number 2. For your gifts, for being you, for being who you are. All right, so let's continue now with our reading. So group number 2, please, Spirit. Why do people stare? People tend to stare. Why do people stare? We have the Council of Animals along with the Ace of Challenges. Okay, you bring clarity. Okay, I'm getting this. You are very connected to nature, to the crystal dimension, you know, plant energies, animal energies, stone energies, whatever, everything in terms of nature. You know, you're so deeply connected to it. You can almost also, it does feel like you have a different type of how should I put it, different type of approach to life, but also different type of experiencing the world. Like you experience the world differently than other people by being so much more sensitive to it. Like you experience different dimensions of the world that people usually don't, and it is something that you then can communicate with people. It's something that you let people know through just being you, through talking the way that you talk, through expressing things the way that you express them. And this basically brings clarity to people. You are a big messenger of clarity, understanding, and freshness to people here. Feels like you bring new insights, feels like you bring something like entirely new levels of understanding to people, that things that they have not ever considered before. Maybe you have maybe extrasensory qualities or something like that is there about you that just makes people understand themselves better, that makes people help themselves in a different manner. You know, it's you create newness in people, you shift perspectives in people, but you do it gently. You don't, do it as a tower moment, just smashing in, wrecking balling in, but you do this through gentleness. You do this through just expressing things that you feel the need to express, by being gentle, by being honest, by being approachable. And that in itself, it allows people to open, it allows people to just be present with you. And they stare at you because you're so interesting, because you have so many new ideas, because you have so many things that you share that are so out of the ordinary. Like, when I said that you are like this mystical fairy type of being, like I wasn't kidding. It's that type of energy, it's that type of vibe that I'm feeling into here. It's that sensitivity to things and being able to explain them so beautifully and eloquently to people, and then just allowing the people to shift their perspective, to shift their perception of reality through this. So yeah, very strong energies. Oh, by the way, this is the Judgment card, the Council of Animals. I'm not sure if this was clear. And the Ace of Challenges is the Ace of Swords here. But yeah, you're a special kind of animal. And again, we have the whiteness showing up here, and also the eye color here, that deep eye color. Sort of very striking eye color is what's showing up. I feel like if you do resonate with having like very strong eye color, it's something that people do tend to really notice, and it makes them stare, it makes them wonder. Okay, what else do we want here? I feel like I want to get you some archetype cards for some reason. Let's see, for group number 2. For group number 2, why do people stare at them? Why do people stare at group number 2 here? So we have the Storm showing up. Okay, very interesting energy. You have a lot going on. People are very curious about you. People are a little terrified of you as well, because you do tend to feel very deep to them. But people do tend to look at you because they do want to figure you out. This is like a storm. It feels, a lot is going on at the same time. There's thunder, there's lightning strike, there is a whole lot of water showing up. And it's that strong emotional space that you're often in that draws people to you, that makes people pay attention, that makes people interested in you. Like, what's going on? It feels like there are like bits and pieces that they feel like there's something there about you, but they can't really grasp it, they can't really get to it. It's all very elusive, it's all very unclear. Like, people don't know what they're getting at when they are, poking around in your energy, let's say it like that. It feels like there are bubbles of things, but these bubbles are like, they are so elusive, they don't open to reveal content. That's what's coming up here. like there is such a hard way of getting close in some manner to you, because it feels like your way of existence is different from most people. Your way of approaching things is different from most people, but still that makes you so super interesting to people because of that difference. And even if they don't know how to express it, it's that difference. It's those bubbles that seem so elusive without content even for people because they can't fully grasp it yet. It's those things that make you fascinating. Group number 2. So let's see what else here. Whoops. Okay, we have the womb. We also have the ring. Okay, we have agape. So unconditional love here. You are a strong representative of unconditional love here, yes. And you tend to look, you do tend to sort of shine light on people's shadows. Here you are a great healer, as I said before. But with the womb, you have very gentle feminine energy. You have the energy of allowing people to be who they are, which is something that's very attractive to people. Like you have this unconditional presence about yourself here with these 2 cards. It's just an allowing everyone, every type of being, every type of human expression or any type of like life being, expression of existence. You allow it to be the way that it is. And it's like a deep respect, a deep sense of respect with the ring also here that you hold for every single being, like a respect, an understanding, but also this just strong sense of, I'm not even sure how to put it, like respect of integrity of every specifics, every single thing in existence. Just this allowing everything to express itself the way that it is and allowing it to be the way that it is, and just shining light on it with your presence and allowing it to be. It's profoundly healing, first of all, but also it's so different and it's so strong. Yeah, like I'm just hearing Aladdin's song right now, like a whole new world. It might be that people are so drawn because, you know, you represent this whole new world to them. But yeah, with the ring, you also have an organizational skill about yourself. You're very structured, meticulous in some manner. People like that also, yeah, about you. You're sort of structured, meticulous. You do tend to really stick with your own things, with what you love. You know what you love and you stick with it. It's what people love about you as well. So let's see what else wants to show up for you. Beautiful group number 2. Why do people stare at group number 2, please? We have the hedgehog. Be a magnet for light, love, and joy. Yes, you're a full, beautiful expression of light, love, and joy here, and this attracts people. You also an ant. Yes, you operate for the highest good of the community. That's the hard work that I was also tapping into with the ring energy. Sort of a very structured mindset, very hardworking person, someone who is very dedicated, but someone who's also very honest about their own work, their dedication, what they love and why they like it. So also someone who is very good at working with other people is what's coming through. So people are interested in your work ethic often. People are also very interested in how you get along with people so well. So how do you get along with everybody so well? Like they are perplexed about this, some of the people in your life, and they pay attention and they are drawn and they're looking, you know, maybe sneakily at sometimes just to figure out what you're doing right, what you're doing there, what you're saying. And yeah, they want to know, they want to learn, you know, they want to be more like you, especially when it comes to emotional connection, emotionally understanding other people, like developing the emotional intelligence. We have pig, maintain self-worth and self-esteem. Yeah, you have a strong sense of self-esteem, self-worth about yourself. There seems to be a strong authenticity about who you are, this gentleness, this softness, this femininity that you ooze. You also might be a Pleiadian starseed here with the rose showing up on this card. I am getting strong Pleiades energy from you because of this softness, because of also this sense of, you know, the way that you look. I'm getting like strong green, blue, strong, you know, almost light blue, almost white eye color, maybe a green grayish color. You know, there's something very special about the way that you look. Maybe you're also very white when it comes to skin color here, but yeah, there's something about you that's just so gentle in terms of coloring as well. So let's see what else for group number 2, please, Spirit. For group number 2, what else? Why do people stare at group number 2, please? Why do people stare at group number 2? Whoops. Okay, too many flipped over here. Let's just take another one. So for group number 2, please, Spirit, why do people stare at group number 2 here? Okay, so we have the owl and we have the dove. The owl is saying, listen to the messages of the angels. This one to me feels like, yeah, you're very intuitive, you're very full of wisdom, and yeah, people are drawn to that. Again, it's this type of quality along with the dove here, which is about harmony, spreading love, spreading joy again, spreading messages of peace and harmony, yes. So it's that type of energy along with the owl here that's making people like, whoa, this person is interesting, this person is deep, this person is like full of light, but also so incredibly full of shadow. Not that they are using those words, but that is like the subconscious way of understanding it. Like, you are interesting because you are so full of these two seemingly, you know, different things, seeming polarities, but with you they are basically informing one another, they flow into one another, and they work well with one another. So yeah, like there is maybe sharpness to you sometimes also, and people are interested in that, but also like a strong mysterious energy, a strong secretive mysterious energy. You know, you're someone who is there in the night, but also like in the sun, in the light, you tend to soar beautifully. Yeah, I'm also sensing that you have a very sharp mind, and people do tend to look at you to see what you're going to say next. You tend to be quiet, I'm getting, with all of these cards showing up. You tend to have like a quietness, a gentleness about you, but you're very sharp of mind. You're very sharp, you're very intelligent, very understanding, quick to understand different concepts, and people are interested in what you're going to say or what your understanding is going to be because of this. So that's all I have for you, my beautiful group number 2. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. It has been true pleasure to read for you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you would like to see more of this channel. If you're interested in booking a personal tarot reading with me, all the information about that is in the description box below this video, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. Other than that, I'm just wishing you a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care, and I'll see you soon in another video. Ciao! Mwah. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you picked the rose quartz, or if you picked this animal totem tarot, or if something else entirely led you this way, welcome. We are going to be looking at why do people stare at you. So why are people paying attention very intently to you? What draws them to you? What are the first, second, third impressions? You know, what's going on? Why are they looking at you? Let's see what's happening, what's going on there. So for group number 3, Spirit, let's see, why do people stare at them? Okay, interesting, big cards showing up very quickly. So the Fool is showing up for us today, and we have the 5 of Wands here showing up. I do want to get you all of your cards out before we get into the video completely. So let's see what else comes up. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, let's see what else. We have the High Priestess here along with the Queen of Pentacles. Very interesting. It's very beautiful energy. Look at that High Priestess, sorry. The Queen of Pentacles, look at it. Isn't that such cute and so adorable? Little motherly pig in the mud. Oh my god. I want to tell you a little secret, you guys. I love bathing, like in the mud, sort of, you know, mud baths or something like that. I just love to throw myself in the mud. So that's just a little secret people only closest to me know. All right, so let's see what else for group number 3 here. What is going on? Why do people stare at group number 3, please, Spirit? Why do people stare at group number 3 here? We have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. Why do people stare at group number 3 here? We have the Chariot. Okay, you are interesting. You have an entrepreneurial type of energy. You're intense here. Very hardworking, but also very intense, sort of like a starter of things. It feels like a pioneer energy is showing up here. So let's see, why do people stare at you? Why do people stare? We have the 6 of Pentacles. Chickens. Cute. I really like this deck. It's just so adorable with these animals. Then we have here the Page of Swords. Okay, let's see what else. For group number 3, okay, we also have the 6 of Swords here. Okay, I'm getting like people are very interested in you. We have the Tower in the upright position here. I almost said reversed. In the upright here, the Tower moment. I feel like you challenge people, but you challenge people by doing your own thing. You challenge people by beating to your own drum here with the Tower being there on the bottom of the deck as the bottom deck energy. It's making me feel like there is something intense about you. There's something very intense in your energy that draws people to you, that draws people in, that makes people curious what's going on here. You also tend to be like, I feel like you're a rule breaker of some kind, like a reformer type of person. You feel very strong, you feel very passionate about your things. So with the Fool, I'm getting like you're a pioneer. You start something, you jump into it. You jump into it full stream here with this card. You're someone who doesn't care, you know, if you fail. You feel like it's worse to not try than to fail. So it's sort of like a motto you live in. I feel like you're very strong, like very resilient type of person. People are very curious because you tend to live wonderfully and very well in this society by doing something that not many people do. Sort of like you are a self-made person in some manner here, it feels like. You are very, very passionate about your issues, about what you believe in. I feel like you are a strong proponent of what you believe in. You really stand for what you believe in here. You're not someone who backs down from arguments or from, you know, basically just standing your ground, saying what you want to say. You're not the type of person who would do that, who would stand down a fight or stand down a confrontation of some kind. You do tend to be kind and gentle, but you know, it's still a strength that you have within yourself. People are very, very drawn to this strength, to this sort of just resilient, strong energy in face of adversity is what I'm getting here. Like you're so strong, and you're such a strong pioneer in your field, in whatever it is that you're doing. You're driving the thing forward here, especially here with this Chariot. This is a quick, strong, quick moving, forward moving energy here that you are displaying. And definitely, like, if you are into enneagram types, this is like the number one enneagram type, the reformer type of person. You're there to shift things up. You're there to, or you're here to just change things up, and it makes people interested. Like, what is this person doing? Why is this person not conforming to the system? Why are they doing things the way that you're doing? It makes people wonder, like, should I be doing that as well? Like, why are they doing that? Is that working out for them? Or, it makes people judge you in another way. It makes people judge what you are doing because it does not conform to society's norms, and it makes people uncomfortable. And that's why people stare at you, because you are different. So yeah, that's what's coming up with all of these energies in general, but with these two specific cards, it's very intense. This resiliency, this pioneering, standing for what you believe in type of energy. With the Three of Pentacles, I feel like you're very good with people. You're very good when it comes to working with people. I feel like you're very good when it comes to delegating things or delegating tasks as well, but also you're a very good leader. People are naturally drawn to you, I'm feeling. People naturally sort of come to you for guidance, for understanding, for maybe I don't know, marketing advice or something like that. Something that you can give, some type of field that you are proficient in. People do come to you for advice, or people respect you in this field. It feels like you're deeply respected for your work, for what you do, especially also with this Queen of Pentacles here showing up. Like, you're very deeply respected. People are drawn to you also because of your wealth. Like with this little piggy in the mud, I'm getting like someone who has made a name for themselves in some manner, someone who has worked for their success, someone who is hardworking, and people recognize that, and people really respect that, even though you're doing something that's a little bit weird maybe in terms of what society would say is the norm, but people do respect you a lot for what you have become, for what you're doing. People really respect your work ethic, I feel like. So they do stare at you to just to vibe with that energy a bit, vibe with that respectability, responsibility, hard work. People also tend to stare at you because they like that energy of that you have going on, like the momentum of work that you often have going on. I also feel like people in general like to watch you work. I'm not sure why, but there is something about you when you are deep in work, deep work, when you're so immersed in something that's sort of like a flow. And that flow is an interesting type of energy that people like to be around, that people like to involve themselves in, is what I'm getting for you. But also really people like the way that you interact with other people. So you do tend to be very good at communicating. You tend to get along very well with others, even if it's, many different people here showing up. You tend to be very, very well connected. You do tend to read other people well, and you do tend to get on well with many different characters of people, which makes you interesting to other people who don't necessarily get along with everyone, or maybe have judgments about other characters in other people and so on. So it makes you interesting in that manner, how you're able to navigate yourself and sort of adapt and mold the situation, mold yourself to different people. It feels like there's a chameleon type of energy to you here as well. You do like to reach high, which is something people admire about you very, very strongly. This reaching, this desire that is inside of you, to live a specific life, to have a specific life, to have a specific partner, to have a specific lifestyle. That's all within you, and it's very, very strongly magnetic, because people also want that on a deeply subconscious level about themselves. And you are like the expression of someone going after that, actually working on it, actually taking actual steps towards that. So yeah, people are incredibly attracted to that because they themselves want that, but they don't realize that. So sideboard, Side note, sideboard. Here, why do people stare at you? Because they also want to live that style of life. They also want to follow their desires. They might not want to do the same thing that you do, but they want to deeply follow their own desires. And you are the expression of that. You are doing that. And that's why people get drawn to you, because they want that for themselves as well. They want to occupy that energy as well, that momentum, going after their desire. So disciplined and so strongly, just deciding and jumping, going for that, and standing for that as well. Then that is something that people feel like they're lacking around you in their own lives. And so you being the expression of that, it makes you desirable, it makes you attractable, it makes you attracting to them, because that's something that they want for themselves. So yeah, the High Priestess, this card makes me feel into Ragnar from the Vikings TV show. So Ragnar, he is very emotionally intelligent, he's very intuitive, he feels into people, he feels into what people are going to do next. And he's very good at reading into people, reading into people's actions, reading into the future, basically, what someone is going to do and what is going to come. But also this person is quite intelligent. It's quite doesn't really describe it. It's incredibly intelligent person. It's also a pioneer, someone who is adventurous, someone who does not shy away from ruffling feathers and really standing for what they believe in. Someone who's also very meticulous with their planning, with their strategizing, or where they want to move next. So people do respect them a lot, and this is something that I also feel for you, especially that intuition and being able to read people very well and being able to read situations very well here also. So yeah, if you sort of vibe with that character, again, it's Ragnar from the Vikings TV show. That is the energy for you. Also, with all of these cards, getting along with other people, wanting something for you and going after that desire, not being afraid to do something interesting, like sail west here, sail to England, see what type of riches are there, being like that pioneer who ushers the expansion of their society forward, the reformer. That's what I see for you, group number 3, and that's what's fully attractive about you here. You're someone who likes to look at issues from the bird's eye view. You have a very strong sense of being settled within yourself, strong sense of confidence about yourself, with this card showing up as well. You're not someone who is easily ruffled or easily distracted by things. You do tend to look at things from a very sort of detached point of view here. You're someone who acts very, very quickly, someone who is very decisive, someone who is quick on their feet, quick acting, quick moving, someone who definitely follows their intuition and follows their gut when they are going towards things. You're also someone who is very hard working, someone who is not afraid to, just go down there and do the rough work, do the hard work. You're also someone who is doesn't judge any type of other work. You respect work. It's what feels strongly here. You're not afraid to do any type of work to get your things moving forward here. People definitely really notice that. People respect that. It's something that doesn't come together, because when someone is in a position where they are like a pioneer of something, it does feel like you have some certain privileges, or people consider them to have certain privileges, but with you it feels like you're just going to do any type of work to get what you value done, or to see that develop in the world. And people see that, and people are fascinated by that, and that's why they want to be around that energy. So Page of Swords now, 6 of Swords. You are again quick moving, you are quick on your feet, you're very quick at communicating where you want to go, what you want to do next. You're just so internally focused, internally quick moving, but also externally you're very, very quick moving on the outside. You can jump through any type of obstacle. People are it feels like people are perplexed about how you manage to solve situations. People do consider you also to be lucky in some manner or have good fortune in some manner through this and the hardships that you maybe had to deal with, because you just sort of so smoothly navigated everything. So everything always worked out well for you, but you know, people see that on the outside and they just consider you to be maybe even magical in some manner, because you can almost, you can jump and then you can fly as this squirrel does. So that's how people see you. People see you as something different, as something interesting, and you're very quick on your feet, you're very quick moving, you're very quick in your energy. You're sometimes, you know, very introspective about this, and you don't let anyone on about what you're going to do next, where you're going to move next, but then they just see you doing something else entirely, and it makes them wonder what's going on. It makes people, you know, very curious in general. So overall, bottom line is you're a very curious person and very interesting and, you know, one of a kind, and people are like, what, who is he, who is she, what are they doing, why are they doing that, how can they be like that, you know. It makes people question things about themselves, about who they are, about where they are going, and it brings their own life to a new perspective for them. So they're all like, whoa, what am I doing with my life then? Look at this person doing this. So what am I doing here? What am I changing here? Am I living my best life? If not, if I feel like I'm not, what can I do differently? I also want to let you know that some people do tend to be jealous of you, or, you know, tend to gossip about you. Not necessarily bad things, but people do talk about you. But I feel like you're the type of person who's going to quote back Oscar Wilde to me and say that the worst thing that being, you know, talked about is not being talked about at all. So there you have it. You know, you're the type of resilient, strong person who's going to go after what they want, and people are going to always respect you. People are going to talk about you also, but I feel like that's something that you don't mind at all here. So yeah, why do people pay attention to you? Bottom line is you're fascinating, you're the reformer, you're doing something new, so why not pay attention to that? You know, something new is always worth paying attention to, either subconsciously or consciously here. All right, so let's see now. Let's see what type of cards want to show up with this animal oracle. I got very interesting energy here. I got very enthusiastic reading this pile. I got very quick. I got very enthusiastic, quick, sort of flew with the whole story very, very quickly. And this is also how I feel you are. And yeah, like people need to, you know, people need time to catch up with you here, it feels like sometimes. But overall, you know, people do adore you, people love you, you have a certain presence about you that draws people in, that's just very sort of gentle, desirable, sort of comforting in some manner, comforting in your hard work, and also comforting in the way that you stand up for yourself and for your values here, and also the way that you have your values so well sort of set up or understood. You know, you understand yourself well, it feels like here, and you're very good at communicating that with others. You're very good at also you know, just evolving communication with other people in general, and very good at reading people as well. So I'm not sure if I said all of that before, I'm just maybe repeating myself at this point. So yeah, let's see, why do people stare at you? Does anything else want to come out at this point, Spirit, please? We have dolphin, live joyfully in the present moment. So you do tend to have that flow about yourself, that playfulness even. You don't take yourself too seriously. When I was reading this, I didn't want to give the impression that you take yourself very seriously. Like you might be a reformer of some structure that we have currently in society, but you're doing this very joyfully, which is, the energy that people naturally gravitate to and naturally want to be a part of. We also have bat here, see through illusion into truth. Yes, you are a strong spirit that wants to shift things, that wants to, unveil the illusion, the things that are not working, and bring them to the light. You are a strong proponent of truth, of standing for what you strongly believe in here. You also can very strongly see into a reality, what is true, like objectively seeing things. We have Raven, prepare for change. Yes, you are the catalyst for a new future, for something new to happen in society, for shifting, changing the norms, whatever it is that you are doing, whatever it is that you are developing in your specific field, in your specific career, or whatever it is that you are doing. Your purpose doesn't have to be a career or work related at all. It can just be, spreading some type of energy around people. You are doing that strongly, and you are ushering in a strong and powerful change here, which people notice. Again, this is happening on a subconscious level. This energy specifically, this one is strongly happening on a subconscious level for you here. And yeah, it makes people interesting, but they don't necessarily know why they're so drawn to you, why they pay attention to you, why they stare at you. It's just something about you that's fascinating to them. And this is that energy, the change, the newness that you are bringing in society. So the owl, listen to the messages of the angels. That's your intuition, your wisdom. You are a very wise person and very intuitive. This is the Ragnar energy as well, the character from the Vikings show that I was talking about. Definitely very strongly resonates here as well. Being very wise, you're also very knowledgeable, very well read. Spirit wants to say you might be sometimes a little bit scary. This card also wants to say, you tend to be like, oof, should I, talk to that person? Should I upset them in some manner? You do tend to have a gravitas to you, something strong, something not to be played with, even though you do tend to have a gentle, soft energy, and you do tend to have your heart open. There is this resilient strength to you that people are sometimes a little afraid to go near because it's so strong, and it's, very, very magnetic, but also it can be, I'm not sure even how to say this, it can be overpowering. Yeah, overpowering is the right word here. Yeah. Gray squirrel, find new ways of solving problems. Of course, yeah, that change, ushering in, finding new ways of solving problems in society that we are facing right now. You are a strong, creative soul. You have new ideas coming into your little noggin every single moment. And yeah, like people are incredibly drawn to that. Kangaroo, be a force of good. Like you are interesting to look at from the distance, but people do tend to get afraid to be a little bit closer to you because they are not sure what type of truth you're going to throw in their face, basically. So they do tend to stare at you and try to figure it out from a distance here. We have elephant, open yourself to true abundance. Yeah, people do tend to stare at you because you tend to live quite an abundant life, or you tend to give the impression that you do so. Abundance is, of course, not only wealth in terms of money or financial freedom. It's also, abundance in terms of spending time with your family. We did have the Chariot there, which is a Gemini, so which also rules family, taking care of the home, and so on. And with the elephant, there is this whole abundance, this love of family, this sharing, taking care of one another, taking care of their young, taking care of the whole group, the whole family all together, you know, respecting one another. It might be that you're also very good at, you know, taking care of your family, being with them. You're maybe a very good parent as well here. But also you're very abundant in terms of friends, in terms of people who are there with you, in terms of people who connect with you, in terms of partnerships, both loving, romantical, but also business partnerships here. So people do tend to flock to you. You are like a beautiful energy that people tend to like to be around or like to be a part of. At least some people, you know. Other people tend to like to watch you from a distance because they're a little bit scared, a little bit afraid of what's going to happen if they get too close to you. We also have Parrot here. Listen intently to understand. You're a very good listener, people think, so they do tend to stare at you, sort of, again, vibing with those communication skills, wanting to know where you got that, or wanting to just also feel in that wisdom and sort of soak in the wisdom of the words that you are saying to other people. So people like to be around you, people like to stare at you, look at you, are drawn to you because you tend to have a lot of wisdom to share, because you're good at communicating that and communicating that in ways that serves everyone that is basically listening to you at that point. And we also have Panda here. Stay balanced and in your essence. So you're very strong, but you're also very balanced in terms of energy. You don't overwork. You tend to be very self-caring, and you know when to take time off for yourself, for your personal life, to just live the beautiful, gentle, wonderful life that you know you deserve. You're very balanced when it comes to your life in general, and you are very true to being authentic, to being in your essence. This is basically the theme for the whole reading for all three groups. You know, all of you are very, very strong in your authentic essence. And you know, just that, being strong in your authentic essence, standing for yourself, is a strong energy of self-love, which is basically the energy of enlightenment. Also, you know, as you practice more and more self-love, you get closer and closer to enlightenment. That's the road, that's the end game, you know. And people are drawn to that. People are naturally also drawn to people who are self-loving, not necessarily only for positive reasons, but also for negative reasons, you know, because they, you know, they like that, but also they don't want to admit to themselves that they like that. It's a whole spiel of that, you get it. But yeah, you know, just being around someone who is self-loving is exhilarating, and people want to be around it. People are drawn to that. People are looking at that, and people are looking for that in themselves. So that's why they naturally also gravitate or stare at people like you who have a little bit more of that currently in their own lives here. I also want to show you have Wolf here as the bottom deck energy. Might be relevant for some of you here as well. This says be independent but work together, which I think describes you beautifully. You are guiding things forward. You have a vision for something, you know, something that is not yet there, something that is still a little bit hidden, you know, not completely illuminated by the sun there, but only a part of it is. And that is the part that you are seeing. That's the part that you want to bring into this world. And you are fulfilling your purpose through this. So you are good at being independent, having this vision, having this purpose, but also being good at working together, listening to other people, and basically respecting the pack here, which makes your life very, very fulfilling and beautiful. Yes. So that's all I have for you, my beautiful group number 3. Thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for sharing your beautiful energy with me today. It was a true pleasure to read for you today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being present, for being available. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already as well. And if you're interested in personal reading, all the information is in the description box below. I would like to thank you again for being a part of this reading. It was such a pleasure to be a part of this energy with you. I'm looking forward to connecting with you again in the future. Let me know if the little remark about Ragnar from Vikings is something that you relate with. I would be very interesting to hear because I'm definitely seeing that character for you guys very, very strongly. So do let me know in the comment section if that resonates for you guys, if you know that character, of course. Other than that, I'm I'm looking forward to connecting with you again in another one of my videos. Until then, have a very beautiful day, my loves. Bye. Mwah.